Buenos días, estudiantes. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Buenas noches. I don't know exactly at what time of your day you're gonna watch this asynchronous or asynchronous session. But again, this is chapter 5. This is the first asynchronous session, maybe the only one, I don't know. And you can see it all weekend if you want, but depending on your lecture, you might see it today, tomorrow, or any day on the weekend. So let me start here. We already saw this. This is on page 113. So here we have some pictures of some towns in Latin America. So we have a town called Mexicali. We have another town called Ushuaia in Argentina. We have another town called Tutunendo. So these are 3 towns. Now, you're supposed to go to the internet. It says, busca en internet, look for an internet, where are these towns, right? So let us go quick and go to Google, okay, to do the search. I'm gonna share my Google here. So we're gonna look for Mexicali. I think with some of you, we already did this in the class. So we're gonna go Mexicali. Mexicali on the internet here. So this is the town Mexicali. Oh, it's in Mexico, yes. So a good way to remember that is it begins with Mexi. Now, if you zoom out, you will see that this is California here. So the town has borders with California here. Again, if you want to see the whole thing, is like this. This is good to know. So we have Alberta here, and then we have the United States, and then we have Mexico. So Mexicali is a town somewhere in Mexico, close to the United States border. Now let's look for the second one. Okay, so in our page 113, we have a second one, which is Ushuaia. Again, we are asked to look for this, the internet. So let us again go back. And we're going to look for Ushuaia. ¿Dónde está Ushuaia? Ushuaia. ¿Dónde está? Again, hope you can see here. It's this little town. It's a little town here. Now, it is in Argentina. This says here, Argentina, Tierra del Fuego. The whole region here is called, I don't know exactly the translation here, the Earth of Fire. Yes, there's no translation, just Tierra, Earth of Fire. If you zoom out, it'll be amazing what you're going to see here. You see the little town there? You see that tip here? This is the most south you can go in Argentina, in the continent. So we have Mexicali here, and now we have here Ushuaia. So imagine how cold this could be. You probably didn't know, or you probably knew, that this green color means that it shows the heat in these countries. So in Brazil, in the Amazons, which is somewhere here, it is green because it is hot. And when you see the white, that means it is cold. Now, you can see here probably at this time of the year when they took the picture, you see Alberta's here. It is cold. And then it's cold all over the Rockies, and then it goes green in Mexico. So anyway, Ushuaia, which is here, again, Ushuaia. It is a province in Argentina. It is, sorry, it is a town, es un pueblo de una provincia de Argentina. Es un pueblo de una provincia de Argentina. Let me write that down so you can see what I'm saying. I always like to show you what I'm saying, okay? So let me share with you my, so Ushuaia, let's write two sentences. Mexicali es un pueblo, it is a town, a village, un pueblo, you probably have heard before the word pueblo, es un pueblo en la frontera, in the frontier, in the border, en la frontera con, es un pueblo mexicano, so I'm just gonna put here, mexicano, en la frontera con California. I just want to tell you something, that the pronunciation of the X sounds like this. Always, almost always. But for historical reasons, Mexico or Mexico sounds like a aspiration, right? Almost like, I don't know, if I were to write it, I would write it Mexico. This is just trying to get to a representation of the pronunciation. So these are not letters. This is the pronunciation. So pronunciation. Okay. It looks like Mexico, but in Spanish it's pronounced Mexico. So this is, probably this one is pronounced Mexicali. Anyway, I'm confusing you guys. So Mexicali is un pueblo mexicano en la frontera con California. Now we have Ushuaia. Ushuaia es una ciudad, let's say una ciudad, it's a city, in Argentina. I'm not gonna complicate matters for you. And then we have, so I'm going to share again my Google here. And we're gonna look for the third town, city that we have on page 113, Tutunendo. What is Tutunendo, right? I have to tell you, I didn't know about these towns. Latin America is so huge, right? So maps here. So we have Tutunendo again here, right? It looks like a little town. Now, if you zoom out again, you will see what it is. Now, you probably don't recognize this, but this is a small strip of land. And I in my head, I can see this is Panama. And then after Panama is Colombia. Right? So this country here is Colombia. La capital de Colombia is Bogotá. So the capital of Colombia is Bogotá. The capital of Colombia is Bogotá. Then we have another main city. This main city is called Medellin. Medellin. And then close to Medellin, we have Tutunendo here. Tutunendo here, as you can see here. So it is in Colombia again. So there's the three cities that we're talking about. One of them is close to the United States, Mexicali again. Another one is far in the south, here, Ushuaia. And then another one in Colombia. So una ciudad, Mexicali, está en México. Otra ciudad está en el sur, en Argentina. Y Tutunendo está en Colombia. Cerca, close, cerca de Panamá. Okay, so let us go back to my PowerPoint. Okay. So what do we have here? What do we have here? We have a chart with temperature, la temperatura. And then we have a chart also of lluvia, rain, lluvia. This word you can pronounce it lluvia, like a Y, lluvia. And some people pronounce it like lluvia. For us, there's no problem. Either lluvia or lluvia is the same thing. And then it says days of rain by month. It's funny because they comparing these three cities by temperature and rain. Temperature, temperatura, rain, temperatura, rain. But the other ones don't have this this day of rain by month. Now, if you see up here, we have the names of the month. So this activity is interactive. They want you to understand by intuition. Again, you can go again, I recommend you to do that. Go to the last section of the chapter and you will have the vocabulary with translation. At this point, the book wants you to learn intuitively. That's a key word in this book. So we have here enero, right? January. You have febrero. So by intuition, you know this is February. It looks like the English word. Then we have marzo. So these are the words that we need to learn. In this chapter, we need to learn the names of the months, and we need to learn some other words that talk about weather. So we need to learn enero, febrero, I'm pronouncing them for you, marzo, abril, so April, it looks like April, right? The B has changed into, the P, sorry, in English, has changed to a B, April, abril. And you have Mayones, that's the way I remember. Mayones, so mayo, 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 junio, julio. You probably can remember Julio Iglesias if you are old enough to remember the father of Enrique Iglesias. His dad was called Julio, an aspiration here, right? Junio, Julio, agosto, August, septiembre, September, octubre, October, noviembre, November, December. I think this is a good way to approach the learning of the names of the month. You know, just don't try to remember the English equivalent. Just say it, right? Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, and so on. Now, there are some other words that we need to learn. Temperatura here, right? Temperatura. So that's temperature. It looks like the English word. Clima. Somehow looks like the this is climate, clima. Lluvia. This doesn't look at all like English, right? So we have the word here, lluvia. That means rain. Now, in the book, you have, let me see what's going on after this. Oh, nieve. That doesn't look like the English word. So this is snow. Yeah, so let me go back here just 1 second. So what are we supposed to do with this data here? So in this data, we have temperatura. So this is measured in Celsius, just like we have in Canada. Right? In the United States, they use Fahrenheit, which is, I think Canada used Fahrenheit maybe like about 30 years ago. So this is Celsius, so we can somehow relate to them. So in Mexicali, the medium or the temperature, the average temperature in general is 13.1. En febrero, 15.3. So 13.1 is like almost the temperature we got today in Calgary. So a bit cold, but not that cold. So, and then if you go to junio, julio, agosto, you see the temperature, la temperatura es 30.5 en junio. La temperatura en Mexicali es 33.9 en julio. Let me write that down again. I really like to show you the words. You probably shouldn't rely on this too much. You should rely on your ear, but la temperatura. Let me see if I'm sharing that with you. You share this one here. So, la temperatura en Mexicali. En Mexicali. En julio es 33.9. Es, just not writing the number here, 33.9. Or in letters, which is what you have to do in your exams, always write out the numbers. So 33 punto, that means dot. 33 point, I guess this is the word. Point, not that. 0.9. Okay, so it's our summer. In the summer, Calgary gets, some days, it gets to 33.9. So again, if I share with you my PowerPoint, you will see here that in January, en enero is a bit cold. It doesn't get to -40 like Calgary. So 13, and then in julio is 33. So almost like Calgary without the coldest days. Now, if you go to Ushuaia in Argentina, you can see that, they almost, because they are in the south, you see, they have reversed the degrees, in the sense that when we are in a hot temperature in the summer they are in the cold. That's the way, because they are in the south. Ellos están en el sur. So the coldest there is around julio, you can see, 1.3. And the hottest they can go is about 10. So it's cold. So it's a cold weather, and it's cold there. Now in Tutunendo, you can see in enero is 26.4. La temperatura en Tutunendo es 26.4 en enero, and en julio es 26.8. La temperatura en Tutunendo es 26.4 en enero, y la temperatura en julio es 26.8. So it doesn't change too much. It's just tiny bit. And also we have here the rain in millimeters, so you can see the rain. So let's say in junio it doesn't rain too much. In Ushuaia it rains a lot. You can see the millimeters here. And in Tutunendo, I think it's Tutunendo looks like crazy this month here. See, it can rain. What is this? Is it 1,000 maybe? Yeah, some countries use dots instead of comma. So this looks like 1,063 millimeters of rain. So it rains a lot, basically. So now what are you going to do with this chart here? So I will share again the book here. So the book has some questions, and it tells you that observe the tables with the temperatures, with the average temperature, and some other data of the climate in these places, and just say to what place they correspond according to the information. So you have to take a look at this. Okay, take some time. It might be more than 5 minutes, and then we have some questions here. So hace mucho calor todo el año. Okay, hace mucho calor. So this is the first time we come across this expression here. So in Spanish, as I told you in class, we have a way of saying it's hot. And the way we say it is like this: hace calor. Literally means it makes heat. And this is literally, but the actual translation is it is hot. Okay, so hace calor means it's hot. If you see it literally, which nobody thinks of that, it says it makes hot, it makes heat. So they're asking us here, hace mucho calor todo el año. So it's very hot all year long. So now you have to come to the data here and say where. So Mexicali is a bit fresh, let's call it in January. Ushuaia is mostly cold all year long. So Tutunendo, if you can see the temperature, is always hot here. So you have to write here, Tutunendo, Tutunendo. Let's do another one here. No, let's do this one here. Llueve. So llueve means it rains. So it comes from this verb in the infinitive. Infinitive. So that means the basic form, to rain, if you want, or llover. Okay. So this verb doesn't have like I rain, you rain, because it is illogical. You don't rain, he doesn't rain, but you say it rains. So it only has one form, which is llueve. It rains. Again, take a look here. This is a good thing to note. You see this O here, llover, is changing to UE. So some verbs in Spanish, they do that. So we're going to learn that later on, that there are some verbs that change the root, the stem, from O to UE. We already talked about some verbs that change E to IE, right? I don't know if you remember, right? Some verbs change E to IE, like querer. So if you want to say I want, you say yo quiero. Quiero, how you write it? Yo quiero. Just like that, we have also some verbs that change O into UE. So you're going to learn this in this chapter. So dormir, which means to sleep, changes to yo duermo. Anyway, this is just to show you what's going on with some irregular verbs. So O to UE. The most important part here is that we're not talking about this, but I'm talking about to rain. So it rains, llueve. Okay, so you go back here, you have a question here. Llueve muy poco. It rains very little. El clima es muy seco. So the climate is dry. So what is that? Let's see, it rains. So here, 2 millimeters, 1 millimeter of rain. The more millimeters you have of rain, the more it rains. Then we have, in Ushuaia, we have 39. So it's almost steady here. And here we have huge amounts of rain. So here, the answer is Mexicali. Mexicali. It rains very little here, up here. You can see it up here. It rains very little. And then you have more here. So I'll give you some hints. You can finish this. I probably will put this as questions in your asynchronous sessions, right? So nieva. So that means it snows. So it rains and it snows a lot. So you have to look for this answer. And then we have here where it says llueve mucho, it rains a lot, but it doesn't snows. El clima es muy húmedo. So the climate is very humid. So what is that? So it doesn't snow, right? You have a lot of rain. So this is Colombia, es Colombia. Muy caliente, very hot. Hace mucho calor. Llueve mucho. But you see, it doesn't have any rain here. This one we have rain, but this one. So the answer here should be tutunendo. But I'll let you read and try to finish these two exercises here. And I'll see you in the next part of this asynchronous session. So thank you. I'm going to stop recording now. More.